Having Jeep Grand Cherokee. Do you think I care to have to want to show off to the world? I don't care. I'm trying to save money. My mind is on survival mode because I'm actually serious about wanting to get myself together. And the problem is that there's a lot of Gen Zers graduating ignorantly, useless garbage college degrees. They're complaining about the job market. They're in so much debt. And a lot of them has the nerve to think that, oh, I don't got to pay that back. You're going to have to pay that back. Why do you think now the government is now, even the president, Donald Trump, is okay with garnishing people's wages? This is a capitalistic society. If you know that this is a capitalistic society, right? We are already in a debt bubble, in a huge financial crutch, a huge financial issue right now that's happening in America, right? You would expect to be thinking a lot smarter or be wiser with your decisions and your spending habits. But that's not the case for the average American. Some people may think that why do you care, casual talk? Why do you care what the average man or the average woman is doing with their money? I'm not watching your pockets. Whatever you want to spend your money on, that's your business, that's your problem. You want to waste your money? Go on ahead. But it's not going to stop what can happen in the future. I support saving money. I support having money for a rainy day. I support having something in your bank account because you don't know what can happen. Just the other month, I had a problem going off my Jeep Grand Cherokee. I had to spend over $1,000 to get some repairs done. Because I still gotta go to work. I still gotta go from point A to B. That's what happens when you have money saved up. And if you live in a state like South Carolina, which is heavily car dependent, and they lack the resources to have train infrastructures, have a train line system, just like New York City has have a proper bus system, like New York City or New Jersey or Chicago, Illinois. Just keeping it real. They don't got that here. So you're screwed if you don't have a car or your car breaks down. That's the reason why I brought that up. This is the main reason why. And when I first brought this up, money is the main thing that we need to get by in this society. And if you don't have enough money, you are not going to make it. We can't control inflation, but we can control our decisions. We can control how we spend our money. There was a news report. I'm going to bring this up again. I know there were so many news reports that I've watched of people getting interviewed, and they just ignorantly said the most stupidest things. And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, this is the average American. Purely ignorant, living in la la land, delusional. There was a news I came across one time, married couple. Husband's an engineer, some type of engineer. The wife is a nurse. They paying their mortgage, they just got their home and everything, right? The cost of living swooped in and went behind them. It creeped up on them unexpectedly. They were on the news making a complaint. The wife is just yapping her mouth, saying that now she has to downgrade her lifestyle. Like, what? The nerve. Now you have to downgrade your lifestyle? What does that even mean? You better be happy to even be alive, to even have food in your mouth. And she just had a baby. I'm thinking in my head, like, the husband is quiet. He's not really saying much. Like, dang, like, is he the one that's breaking his back to spend his money on every single thing? You're supposed to do the right thing, especially by your wife. A man is supposed to provide, yes, but I don't agree with a man killing himself, working himself to death for an inconsiderate, evil, vile woman that does not give two hoots about him. Like leaving him there to die and fend for himself. And the wife, she sounded stupid. She sounded ignorant. There was another case of a newly college grad. This is a news video that I came across a few years ago on YouTube. This is a young black girl, okay? So there's cases, you already know, there's a lot of people that are also struggling with finding a job and finding an employment because of their race. Depending on where you are, that could also hold you back too. Let's just keep it real. Systemic racism is also holding a lot of people back and a lot of minorities back. There's a lot of places out there that rather hire white people or their own before hiring anybody else. It is what it is. You gotta go where you're gonna be appreciated. So back to the news report on the young black girl, right, that just graduated from the college. I'm listening to the news, and she made comments that she went for a marketing degree, and she was now working, at the time she was working at a car dealership with a college degree. I don't know if it was an associate's or a master's. It was under marketing. She's working in a car dealership. I believe it was a car dealership. And she was making maybe between 14 to 15 bucks an hour. She looked and sounded disappointing. Disappointed, I mean. She looked and sounded disappointing. She looked and sounded disappointed. Sorry about the with the use of my words. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm a little tired, but but I'm just keeping it real, man. The reason why I brought all these cases up is because a lot of Americans it's sad and scary of how ignorant and lost so many Americans are. And of course, I noticed the system was also designed to make people failures and not question the things happening in society. When I was in high school, I don't even remember having a class or a teacher teach us how finances work, how to have a head start in your life financially, how to take care of your finances right after you get out of high school. How do you handle your first credit card? How do you handle your money when you get your first paycheck? How does taxes work? How debt works? If most Americans were properly educated at an early age about how finances and how money works in this society, more people would be in a better position right now. And we probably wouldn't even be having so much debt right now. Debt wouldn't even be a big indicator of how far this country can go. Money wouldn't even be a big issue right now. I still see people complaining about money, but yeah, they're wasting $400, $500, $600 on junk and garbage they don't even need. And it just sits there in their house. They buy something, they just let it rot 3, 4, 5 months later. And years later, they end up throwing that product out. People still want to keep up with the Joneses. People still want to, I want to get these new Jordans. I want to follow the trends. So many people wants to be followers. So many people rather remain in negative debt just to keep up with other people that does not care about them, or just to look good. That's why I brought up that I got 2 beater up cars, an '05 Honda Civic and a '97 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Do I care who I'm impressing and who I'm not impressing? Thank God I got a roof over my head. The whole moral to this video is that I'm just keeping it real. It may be a long time from now that I'm going to bring up a video topic related to this, but it's just pathetic and sad with how a lot of Americans think. You have a lot of women who wants to live this lifestyle. They're expecting the man to make this much money, and it's very rare to even find somebody that even makes over $100,000 to $200,000 a year, because the average man is not making that much money, even the average woman. So this is a rule of advice, and this is to any ladies or any women that comes across this video. I'm going to give you some advice. Don't expect a man to do something for you or buy things or do things for you that you could also do for yourself. In other words, don't wait on nobody to do the things that you can do for yourself. Don't expect a man to make so much money, to make over $100,000, $200,000, $600,000, make six figures, but then you're not even making six figures. Why is that the first thing that comes to mind? We're living in a stressful society, I get it, but nobody is responsible to be your caretaker or your babysitter or your father figure, or not even your father, to be your daddy. Nobody's responsible for that. The entitlement is also real. Welcome to America. So many people are very entitled, arrogant, ignorant, selfish, self-centered. But then the bigger picture is that we're going through all these problems. I remember back then, people would make fun of you for working at McDonald's. Now there's a lot of people that wants to work at McDonald's now as a second job, because now today, with how bad the economy is going, depending on where you live, some places are worse than others. There's people that's out there that has to get a second job. So they're going to look at that McDonald's as, oh, this is another valuable option. Wendy's is hiring. Walmart is still hiring. You got to do what you got to do. Suck it up. I used to do 2 jobs before. I had to do what I had to do. And you can do it too. Welcome to the real world. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to spend your money? Like I said, I live in South Carolina. I don't even got a career. I'm working towards a career. I'm in college right now. I'm doing what I got to do to bust my behind in order to get the heck up out of here, because with how I'm living, if I was to stay at an entry-level position, making $30,000 to $40,000 a year, barely getting a raise, you think my stupid behind is going to stay at a state where the cost of living is going to keep increasing and my rent is going to keep increasing? And as my rent increases, my salary doesn't really increase. The rent ends up jumping a lot higher than my wages. The rent increases a lot more than my salary, than how much I'm getting paid per hour. And that's what's going to happen to this state as well. The more people that keep moving into this state and other states with the cheaper cost of living, and they're bringing the exact same issues that they had in Florida, Miami, Brooklyn, New York, all these fancy, nice luxury places. A lot of Americans don't think. And when you challenge some of these Americans that are very ignorant and arrogant, they look at you crazy. They don't want to talk about it. They're ready to fight you and argue with you. Especially on Reddit. I had cases where I stated my opinion one time on somebody's post on Reddit, right? And I even stood strong on my beliefs. I had people attack me. This is America for you. A lot of people are like that. This is why I'm just one of those individuals now where I just sit back. I have to think about myself, and I got to worry about myself, what I got going on, my kids, my wife, my own family, and just mind my business. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. A lot of people, I'm just going to keep it real. I know there's a lot of people out there that wishes and prays that this world can get better, but you got to pray that your life can get better, because you don't know how the world's going to be. But I can see the world can get worse from here on out. Bible prophecy is revealing itself every single day, every single year. At the end of the day, we still got to worry about ourselves. Be wise with our financial decisions. Be wise about our career choices, our career decisions, because we only got one life. You already know you can't afford certain things. You got to maybe get a second job, move out, downsize, cut the costs on things that you don't need. Go for a career that's going to make you a lot of money. You make a lot of money. Buy a house in a cheaper area where the area is safe, it's quiet. The commute to go to your job is not too far. How is this so hard? It's just a lot of people does not want the responsibilities of doing too much. Everybody wants the copy and paste. Everybody wants the cookie cutter society. They want to live in a cookie cutter society. They want a quick fix. Everybody wants that quick fix, that quick easy meal. They want everything fast. A lot of people just doesn't want to put in the work. I said it before. There's a nursing shortage. Nurses make a lot of money. A lot of people doesn't want to do that job either. They don't want to do that because it's too hard. Even though there's competition for a reason, a lot of people does not want to go for it. The healthcare field, you can make a lot of money. I'm in the healthcare field right now. I'm pushing to continue to work in the healthcare field and make more money in the future, Lord willing. I don't see I don't know if you're able-bodied and you have the opportunity to elevate and do a lot more, what are you waiting for? What's the excuse? Hey, more power to you. It's more power to the people, because at the end of the day, that's not my problem. The only thing I got to do, I got to stay in my lane and worry about myself and my family and what I got going on here. Oh, boy. Anyways, guys, I got nothing much to say about this. This is Casual Talk here. Peace out. Let me know what you think.